I love libraries, and in my brief time here at Western, I've discovered that Wilson is truly the heart of campus. And according to our Western Washington website, this is the brief history of our beloved library. Bethlen Gold of Seattle designed and C.F. Martin built the Romanesque library for the school in 1928. Its 2 floors and basements house 39,000 volumes. The library underwent renovations in 1947, then gained an addition in 1962, designed by Paul Thierry. Following a campaign supported by hundreds, the college library was renamed the Mabel Zoe Wilson Library on April 15, 1964. Rapid growth required another addition in 1973. Fred Bazidi and CEO of Seattle added 99,000 square feet to hold the then collection of more than 235,000 volumes. In 1999, Wilson Library became Western's Libraries as another addition, annexing Haggard Hall, was completed. Teachers, alumni, and staff want Western students and the community to think that this is the real history of Wilson Library. But I know the truth. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, lived a young apprentice in the age-old kingdom of Bellingham, Washington. This young apprentice was desperate to become a sorceress, and spent her days in the towers of Wilson Library, nestled in the heart of Western Washington University Province. She was a driven and mischievous young sorceress. It wasn't enough for her simply to study her spell books and potion recipes. No, no, no. She wanted to practice. Practice casting spells on the mortals that frequented her halls. She cast a spell of silence upon the library. This is no small feat, for the library has 6 floors and a second building attached to it by a sky bridge. Yet the second someone enters these hallowed halls, they feel compelled to be as quiet as possible. Not only does this help her study, but it helps the subjects of her kingdom study as well. If she were a more experienced sorceress, she could have accomplished complete silence from all who enter, but alas, silence was much too advanced a spell. This is probably why it's stronger on the less frequented upper and lower levels. Since the second through third floor are always so heavily populated, the spell isn't as powerful there as it is on the other people in the other levels. This isn't the only spell she's cast as she walks through this enchanted forest of literature and learning. Some say it's spooky and rush through certain parts. Others find it magical and languish in its comforts. My name is Morgan, and I've experienced this spell firsthand. Wilson Library is clearly magical. The hidden passages enchanted to look like little-known study corners, the secret doorways disguised as side entrances, elaborate mazes also known as bookcases, moving floors, more mundanely described as elevators, and magical paintings that change every day, more often referred to as windows. I can't be the only mortal who sees what's going on here. Let's see what my peers have to say about this little-known phenomenon. Oh, Alyssa, what's the most enchanting thing about Wilson Library?
Well, everyone seems to get really quiet. When they come into the library, it makes us feel like we're under a spell, like we can't talk. But to me, it's nice because peace and quiet is a good thing.
So, Brayden, what's the spookiest part of Wilson Library?
Well, the spookiest part of Wilson Library. I'm gonna have to think about this for a moment because I have such an extensive history of exploring the deep portions of Wilson Library. I believe that the 5th floor is pretty spooky because it's so dark when you go up there because there's nobody ever up there. But I think that the spookiest portion of Wilson Library is the old and rare books archive, where they just have a couple of really, really old books and some ancient, film recording stuff. And there's nobody ever up there, and it can be pretty spooky at times.
So, Preston, what's the most enchanting thing about Wilson Library?
Well, I wouldn't say enchanting, but I like going there just because it's a great place. I could go to be quiet and just get my work done and get focused, but still have people as background noise, and it's just a great place to study and a great place to work.
So, is it kind of magical?
Oh, it's pretty magical.
I would have to say the spookiest part of the Wilson Library is the first floor. First, you have to go down a narrow staircase, which only allows people to go down single file. Then it leads to a dim, long hallway, which has wooden chairs and custodial supplies scattered around, which anyone could be hiding behind. It's a horror movie-style hallway. It's not fun.
Hey Josh, what's the most enchanting thing about Wilson Library?
I've never really thought about it like that before, but I guess the library does kind of have a mythical vibe. I don't really believe in magic, but I guess Wilson does come close. It changes the way people interact with each other without any rules or regulations or teachers making them do something. It's weird because it only ever happens in Wilson. It must be enchanted.
It's obvious people feel strongly about this phenomenon, whatever it is. For some, the enchantment is a beautiful, strange magic. For others, it's a spooky reality they try to ignore. Why does the unexplainable scare people? While some enjoy the tranquility, others find it scary and try to avoid it. There is clearly a force at work here. Something is going on that people can't seem to define. Even the most boisterous, extroverted people are silenced within the brick walls of Wilson. What more evidence of sorcery do you need? Believing in magic is considered childish, but why? Who's happier? The qualifying scientist who can't prove his theories, or the bright-eyed child who knows that magic and spells are real? But that happiness is overlooked, dismissed. The kids are naive and don't understand how the world works, so their beliefs are laughable. Why is it that we lose the ability to see the beauty and wonder of the world? To a child, Wilson Library could be truly enchanted, the story of the sorceress real. The spell of silence cast by an ancient sorceress as real as the books that line the shelves. Why do adults scoff and brush it off and contribute it to social norms and learned behavior? I challenge all of you to find the magic in your own lives, to look at things in a new light and see what kind of forces are at work in the places you go every single day, to find the magic in your own life, to stop dismissing the extraordinary as ordinary just because you can't explain it. Magic isn't about spells or potions, it's about actions and feelings, how people change in a place, the things they say and do, and the way you feel when you walk into Wilson.